Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms. Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter. Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough. Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered. Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape. Shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could. Chapter 4: The Best Policy. Luka paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her, but finding Rollo was his primary concern. Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching. Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling. But this was the most intense Luka had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luka. In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luka broke down. Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luka. Roxy drew herself up. Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luka. Luka wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod. Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up. Mr. Nuncreek jumped with a start. Luka motioned to the phone booth. Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luka's shoulder. Luka peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luka could sense something eating away at him. There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luka felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luka to get out of there. Luka twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp. The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan. He aired a long holler into the woods. Luka felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luka found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luka stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, buckaroo." Luka turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together. Luka found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luka's doppelganger stepped forward. That's up to you. Without knowing why, Luka began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real? Luka's father bent down to smudge away a tear. Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me. Luka turned to look at the older version of himself. And you? The doppelganger choked back tears. I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luka laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, buckaroo. Luka was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor. A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luka sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5.